to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it.
Good evening and welcome to the Trav Podcast, episode 29.
Whoop, whoop.
A little celebration of life there. Erick Morrillo passed away this week.
Yeah.
I like to move it. Madagascar.
With the meerkat scene. That's what movie reminds me of. Or that song. That's what it reminds me of, that movie.
Yeah. So
it's old now.
Yeah. No, it's like, what, 10 years old? Something like that?
It was
like 2007 or 8.
Yeah.
I was in college. I remember that.
Yeah.
Like the first time.
Yeah. Well, there was like multiple ones, right?
Yeah. There's like, I think 2,
Three?
right?
2 or 3?
I don't know how many kids. I gotta ask people who do before
I
do
know.
this stuff.
It's crazy.
But yeah, celebration of life. Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther, Black Mamba, both gone the same year. Disgusting and upsetting.
I didn't realize Chadwick Boseman had colon cancer that he's had for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And he never once...
Yeah, wanted sympathy for it.
Yeah, he didn't even talk about it. He didn't say that he was fighting it. And then people were saying that like pictures of him came out after his movie because he was pretty buff in the movie.
Yeah, he was jacked.
And they were saying that afterwards there was pictures that he looked like very skinny and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I
people
guess
were
they were
like,
trolling him on Twitter.
Yeah, they were ragging on him,
skinny,
saying he looked skinny. Like, oh, what are you on drugs? You're not, well, whatever.
Yeah.
And he had freaking cancer. And he didn't once say like, well, I have cancer, so this is why I look like this. But
yeah, didn't want the
you
sympathy,
just never know.
So. Good for him, but nonetheless sad, that passed away so young. A lot of talent, obviously, so a very unfortunate event. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and also NBA legend Cliff Robinson passed away. 53, I believe he was. I might be a little off, but I know he was 50-something. Early 50s, he passed away this week. Also, Portland Trailblazer against Jordan in the 90s.
There was
also
another
played Vince Carter.
Baseball player that died, too.
Baseball player? Oh, I didn't say it. Baseball sucks.
I don't know. I forgot his name. They were like, I guess was like a pretty good baseball player, but he was older, like
retired player and stuff.
Oh yeah, older, way older, like not like Derek Jeter retired, like
right. He was like way over. Yeah, like 50,
I didn't recognize the name though. I'm not a big baseball fan, so I don't really know much about.
Nah, not a fan.
Baseball players.
What else? Oh, so what's going on with you, Rissy? How's your week going? Let's talk about that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only Monday, but I've had a rough start to the week.
Labor Day weekend, Labor Day party. Everyone's at camp or at the beach.
And we haven't done anything because we both had to work.
I was at work. Yep. I was going to golf, but that didn't pan out.
I mean, I feel like, oh my God, Saturday night, we were like dead exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah, we were.
I had a couple migraines this past week. Mm-hmm. And then today was fun.
Yeah.
Something new. It's something new.
Yep.
My 30s hate me, by the way. So if anyone who's under
overrated
30,
30s. Yeah, under 30s, stay there.
Please
safe
don't
zone.
turn 30.
Enjoy it.
So I was at work today. So for anyone watching this, because it's probably not going to be posted till like the end of the week, today's Labor Day, Monday. Yep. So I'm at work and I just started feeling like extremely dizzy.
Yeah. Not
like lightheaded, like I was going to pass out, just like I was going to tip over.
Right.
Okay. So I was like, well, maybe, yeah. So I was like, well, maybe I need to eat. So, I mean, I went and got lunch and then I came back and I still was like feeling like I was getting these like waves of dizziness. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, God, I feel so dizzy. They're like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. I'm like, I feel fine, but I'm like so dizzy. Like if I look down or like, I'm trying not to do this because I'm still not like 100%.
Not perfect, yeah.
But I'll get to that in a few minutes. If I tip my head back, oh my God, it was like when I came back, it's like the room was just spinning. And I felt like when I was looking at people, I was looking at them cross-eyed, but I wasn't. It just, that's how I felt.
That's how I felt, right.
I guess you can describe it as being drunk. You know, like, you know how sometimes the room starts spinning when you lay down?
I do.
That's exactly how I felt.
Yep.
But I obviously wasn't drunk.
Right.
So now I'm sitting at work and my manager's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just don't feel like I was trying to stand up and then I'm like standing up and then I'm looking down at my tablet and I'm like, okay, no, now it's spinning. So I can't like help a customer. You know what I mean? So I was just kind of sitting there and debating if I should go to urgent care or not.
Right.
So I called Maggie because Maggie just had a big episode of vertigo, which is like so random because I've never had this before. I've never been dizzy like this before.
I've heard of it, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, I've gotten lightheaded and stuff like that, but never like this. And Maggie was just telling us all about her, you know, and she's still not 100% over it.
Yeah.
So I called her to like, you know, describe it, and she's like, yeah, that's exactly what I had. Her doctor told her she had fluid in the air, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to urgent care. But I called my dad to have him pick me up because I didn't want to drive because I was like very dizzy.
Yeah. You gotta be safe out there.
Yeah, and it was almost like kind of like blurry. Like I had a headache and I just felt like kind of disoriented. So I'm like, my dad's gonna pick me up. So we went to urgent care. Doctor did some tests. Like he just like tested my blood pressure and like asked me a bunch of questions. Like he did like an eye test where like I followed his finger with the eye and everything. And he basically diagnosed me with something called like BPPV, which is like benign
vertigo,
positional vertigo, which is basically something that's not long term. But and it's like positional. So it's like not all the time I feel dizzy. It's just like if I move a certain way, I can move my head too quickly or like whatever. But it was weird. It was like if I looked down or if I like went like
you're
this.
Snapping.
Yeah.
Like moving.
Not even fast movements. So like if I just went like this and back up,
yeah, it's
it
like
was
your position wouldn't like reset. Yeah.
I feel like I was on like one of those like tilt-a-whirls or something.
Yeah. Your head would be here, but your eyes would
still
be behind like
whacked.
a trail.
So he also prescribed me a medicine, which I went to go pick up, and the pharmacy closed at 2, and it was like 3 o'clock. So I was like, great. So now I'm going to have to go get it tomorrow. But I did look up the medicine, and it's kind of like a combination of, it's not over the counter, but it's a combination of like an antihistamine and like a motion sickness medicine.
Right.
So I just took an allergy pill, and then I took motion sickness medicine, and I do feel better. I do have a headache still, and it's like a very weird headache. Like my head just feels foggy.
Yeah.
But it hurts. But it's not like
it's
painful.
Not like, yeah, it's not like
it's strange. Yeah, it's strange to describe. So I'm still kind of like out of it, and hopefully tomorrow when I wake up I'll be better. But either way, I'm gonna go to the pharmacy and get that medicine right away.
Right. Well, that's good. Yeah, you should definitely get that first thing in the morning.
So it was very
squared away here.
Very strange. And when I went to the doctor actually too, she's like, "So what brings you in?" You know, and I was like, I'm very dizzy. And then she was like just talking to me. She's like, oh, I used to work in the rehab with the vertigo patients. Because like some people have it so bad that they have to go to rehab. Now, not to mention this thing, they say it's short term. But vertigo is so random. And it can last for like hours to months.
Yeah.
Like Maggie's going on a month.
Yeah.
She's like a little bit better. But now she's like, she kind of knows like when it's gonna happen. Like before she's like, I was afraid to drive because I didn't know when I was gonna get like a dizzy spell,
right?
You know, and it's almost like some of it was so severe even for me today that I had to just be like, it's like the only relief. I was like pinching the bridge of my nose, like I don't know, it was weird.
Falling apart.
I'm falling apart.
So. On the upside, I've been trying to work out. Riss worked out yesterday with me, so I ran 2 miles.
That's
which
what
I
did me
in.
I worked out one time and I fucking die.
Yeah. I did 2 miles in 9 minutes and 46 seconds per mile, which sucked because there was only 2 of them. So I should have been rocking about 7.5 or 7:45, and I was just not there because I haven't ran since like May. Mm-hmm. But then I did a workout downstairs also after that, and you were doing, what were you doing up here, 21 Day Fix?
Uh-huh.
Nice. So just trying to get healthy, trying to stay well out here during the Corona season.
Mm-hmm. Well, we should have been doing this like 4 months ago.
Yeah, no, it's been kind of brutal though. We've had a busy summer, so we got to kind of get back moving though and make some time for it and whatnot. Next, I got a heavy topic, so I figured I'd start off a little later before I get into Neuralink.
Oh, gosh.
So I'm going to just talk about Neuralink review for a little bit. This was 2 Sundays ago. Elon Musk discussed Neuralink, and for those of you who aren't aware, it's basically like AI or intelligence that can go into your brain, and it can connect your nerve endings and basically counter diseases and problems such as anxiety, depression, so on, and it will monitor your
Parkinson's.
health. Yeah, Parkinson's. What do I have? I have a whole list. Brain damage, stroke, seizures, insomnia, hearing loss, memory loss. And basically what it is it's basically like the size of like a quarter. And it might be a little bit smaller than that now. They're basically trying to get it as small as possible before they put it into people. Right now, it's only in pigs in the test stage. But it goes in your head, and it works as like a Fitbit. So at night, you can plug in, and basically it'll charge it, and it'll go to an app on your phone. So you could like check your watch or your phone, and you can monitor your health and heart rate and all that stuff. So it's basically like a Fitbit just for your brain and a little bit more in depth, I guess. It can do more things, so that's good. But I also noticed that they mentioned that you could upload memories at some point. So that seems like it is a little bit farther down the road. But It's exciting, I think, though, because it can really help like severe injuries, such as like even if you break your spine and stuff like that, anything that separates nerves so you can't function anymore, it'll basically replace that with this AI feature that can manipulate your brain to think that you still have functionality, and it'll basically keep you functioning and working. So that was interesting. That was 2 weeks ago, so just figured I'd review that because it's basically the future that we're walking into, whether or not you want to or not.
Unreal.
What's that?
Yawn reel.
Yeah, yawn. We got to make a blooper reel of that.
I can't stop.
But yeah, so that was what I was watching 2 Sundays ago. It also corrects vision, and it'll actually be able to take mental images. So like if, say, you're, creative or you're like an artist and you can project things with your mind, like how you'd envision them on a wall, you could actually take it and project it on a wall.
Wild.
Yeah.
Well, they also said too, the cost of that was, he described it as something like LASIK surgery.
Yeah. Well, he said it was going to be
might be a couple $1,000s.
He said, he'd like to get it to a couple $1,000s over the long term. It'll start off obviously pretty expensive to start. But
so did laser eye surgery.
Right. Well, we were talking about it at work today and how Elon Musk was actually ranked number 3 for, what was it, the most richest person or whatever in like Forbes or something. He was ranked number 3 as far as money goes when Tesla did a stock split. And then, they actually tanked a little bit since then, so now he's not number 3 anymore. But it's like he doesn't really care, though, about that because he'll just get it back with all the stuff he's doing with, Neuralink. Like, he invests, that's another thing about Neuralink. It's independent, just like SpaceX. So there's no, corporate, I don't know, going over it or trying to see what he's doing or trying to, manipulate how he does his business.
Yeah. It's
basically 100% him. Even the chips, all the engineering, all the coding, all the stuff that goes into it, he owns all of it. So I guess that's a good thing, though, because, it's easier to get it max put out there for everybody.
Yeah.
But if not, like I said, if someone stepped in like a corporate person, then they would try to, take it back, control it a little bit more.
Was it FDA approved?
They got it FDA approved too. So
I thought I heard that.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just kind of crazy that he's doing a lot of stuff like that, and also doing SpaceX and Tesla and a lot of things.
He is doing a lot of things.
So yeah, but like I said, that's pretty exciting though for anyone who has anyone who knows anyone with dementia and stuff. Because I know as you get older, that stuff happens, and it'd be nice to have it countered so where they could still maintain their memory and stuff like that rather than lose it. As opposed to that. I also did get checked out this week at the doctor. Speaking of doctor.
Oh, yeah. How's your health issues going on?
Good.
You're not dying like me?
I'm fine.
Okay.
They can't kill me. I've tried. You can't do it. Not literally tried to kill
me. You did have wax in your ear, though, right?
Yeah, and I do my ears every night, too. It's just it's just how my head's made
and
up.
My ears are fucking clear. They said
stuff.
they're clear. They said my ears are good, and I got this vertigo.
Yeah. So I got to do peroxide or whatever to loosen it up, even though I do it every day. It doesn't matter. It's doesn't touch it at certain spots, so.
You have such little baby ears.
I do. That's probably the problem. I got mad small ears, so there's that issue. But David Blaine, actually, if you like magic, he ascended to 24,900 feet this week on YouTube. So he actually went up in a balloon or a bunch of balloons, and the goal was to get
real life up.
Yeah, real life up basically is what it looked like. But he basically ascended up into the clouds and then dropped from 24,000 feet. And it was
crazy.
Over a 2-hour period. It's all on YouTube, so it's pretty awesome to watch if you want to watch it. But yeah, for people who actually jump out of airplanes, the typical height is around 14,000 feet. If you're an advanced person, they usually do around 18,000 feet. One gentleman jumped out of a plane at 25,000 feet without a parachute 3 years ago. And his name was Luke Aikins, and he landed in a big net, cranes were holding it up and stuff.
But
so
he was wasn't he
yeah, he was I don't know, some sort of ranger or some shit. And he was had all this training, and he had to land in the zone basically. So that's not easy to do, especially from 25,000 feet, a lot of wind and all that stuff.
So remarkable, but he wasn't your average Joe.
Yeah, but David Blaine is just a magician, and he was just hanging from this shit. I mean, he was strapped in with safety harnesses and stuff as well, so it wasn't but you're still he's floating for 2 hours and up to space, and there's all this pressure and stuff also when you get up there. Because 25,000 feet, for those of you who have ever flown before, that's where 747s and all that go. When you go to Florida, they get up to 20-something thousand feet. So you're that high.
I think they get up to about 30 or higher.
Well, yeah, they can go higher.
But still, that's high for somebody in a freaking holding on to balloons.
Yeah, and he had a respirator and stuff because when you get up there, the air's too whatever thin to breathe and all the pressure and all that shit. So, but that was pretty awesome. And he landed, he flew down, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, and he had to monitor his heart rate and all that. So, check that out because that's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I must say. But yeah, he got 24,009. I guess the record was 25-1 or something. They were trying to get him to hold on for 200 more feet, but I'm sure he was kind of felt like he was probably gonna die soon.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of do something at that point. We did a girls' night. That was last Friday. We did a
Well,
card
it wasn't
night.
intentionally a girls' night.
No.
It was just a card game, but unfortunately, everybody that normally plays is a girl.
Right. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look
Yeah,
at it.
yeah, whatever. So it really wasn't like girls' night because you were there and Ian was here.
That's true. Yeah, he showed up later.
Yeah,
but it was fun. What were we playing? Russian?
Michigan rummy.
Michigan rummy.
Yes, which is like a little board
country,
and there's money cards involved. We ended up winning like $20.
Yeah, we did.
So,
we did all right.
Not
$3 buy-ins.
Not a bad gig.
No, not too bad.
Got to do that again soon.
What else we got? Oh, we got these cups, just so everyone can see. Trevor's podcast came out pretty awesome. They're only $25. I get charged $24, and then I shipped one to my mom this week, and it was like $32 after shipping. So if anything, we're just gonna lose money on it. It's fine. But if you want one, great. If not, we appreciate you listening, just because you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's Labor Day. What'd we do? We didn't do anything. We just worked.
Yeah, worked on not dying, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing fun really with Labor Day.
No. Kind of a mess.
I think this like.
You got something fun coming up this weekend, though.
Oh yeah, I'm going on a wine tour.
Wine touring.
So we're staying in a house on Cayuga Lake.
Yeah.
We're going to 3 wineries. I think we're doing Dr. Frank's, Bully Hill, and Heron Hill.
Yeah,
I've never been
Hamlet's. So that's
I haven't been to
stuff.
either like any of those wineries. I've been on one other wine tour, but we were on like Cayuga Lake, so it was a different lake, and we were more on that side, I guess. We went to like Hosmer, Varick, and I don't know, like 2 other ones, and a brewery. I don't really remember. It was like 2 years ago. But yeah, I guess I'll review that next week.
Yeah,
we'll do a little wine tour review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to get to that point.
Starting to feel a little dizzy, so I'm sorry.
I'm
like losing. I'm like,
I have to cut a little short.
I'll be all right. I'm just, as long as I'm not like standing where I'm gonna fall. It just feels like I feel like I'm drunk.
Yeah. Speaking of drunk, I guess Hallowine's canceled this year. That's sad.
Yeah, well, because of the
Catholic
COVID.
Charities, and we like to support them a lot.
A lot of things are unfortunately canceled.
Yeah. On the upside, Hyundai's doing a grand opening, so that's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, when's that?
We're doing a mailer and stuff to only customers or customer base. It's gonna be going out, I think, this week. Sean and I are working on it, and then it should be the 23rd. So we're gonna have like a little gratitude night, and then to show people the new store. So come check it out. It's pretty awesome.
Maybe I'll have to come.
We have AC that works. We got a nice 1988 Hyundai Excel in there with 200,000 miles on it. It's like a replica piece.
Yeah.
So yeah. Are you gonna be all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
I mean,
okay.
You can't really do anything about it, you know?
No, I can't. I wish I could. I'd help you if I could. We have a special guest coming on October. We're going to have our friends Amanda and Carl on to discuss their baby situation that he's in.
Yes, so she taught me how to say it now.
Yes.
So hopefully.
So what's it called?
Epidermolysis bullosa.
Bullosa. That's what it is.
Which is a very rare skin condition. I believe it's like a tissue connectivity disorder.
Oh, really?
So Amanda had initially told me that September was EB Awareness Month.
I thought it was this month. Yeah.
They just posted on Facebook that I believe in October there's like a week where it's like a worldwide
it's like
awareness.
the 25th to the 31st is what she told me.
Yes,
So.
and it's like a worldwide thing, I believe.
Yeah.
So they're going to come on and talk all about that. And just about the condition and I guess life, living with the condition and taking care of a baby with that. And also just bringing awareness because I don't think that a lot of people know what it is.
No.
Yeah, I had heard of it before because there was a baby in like Auburn, New York that had it. And when he was born with it, it was like there was like GoFundMe's and all that, and they brought awareness to it, and it was like around or whatever, and I was reading about it, and I'm like, God, this is awful. Yeah. And I don't even think they knew what it was until, he was born. It was just like, the hell is this?
Right. Yeah, it's weird. I've never heard of it before, and it's
a lot of people
pretty mind blowing what it does.
A lot of their friends and family were introduced to this like that, back in December. So it's not common.
No.
It's very rare. So it's we need to bring awareness to it.
Yeah, no, definitely. So be looking for that. That's coming up next month. I saw that Spotify was censoring Joe Rogan this week, so that was interesting. Also,
what do you mean?
He had a couple episodes that they didn't like transfer, I guess you could call it, to Spotify, or they didn't allow them to play. It was basically there was some certain guests that he had on there that like they were more political based and they wouldn't play it on Spotify. Like,
so isn't that like why he left YouTube?
Yeah,
just to be like more.
Yeah, to be more freelance and to not have as much stuff. So I think it's going to be a situation with like lawyers and all the people that were a part of the contract signing. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were watching Miley Cyrus this week. That was actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, she's interesting.
She's a lot more leveled than you'd think for being Miley Cyrus.
Well, I think that she just went through a bunch of shit, and now she actually like has overcome it, and she's able to talk about it. Yeah, like she talks about her drug use pretty freely, and how she felt on it, and how she did have a lot of anxiety, and how being a child star really did affect her. She even said, "I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Like it's not good."
Yeah, well, it's like high level output.
But it's kind of like a growing.
Yeah,
like I think she grew. Out of that.
Yeah, I think she transitioned well, though, too. A lot of kids can't even transition out of childhood stars, and they just fell off the face of the earth. Well, but she actually transitioned from Hannah Montana to Miley Cyrus, and now she's very well known.
Do you know that that's not her real name?
I didn't know, no.
Do you know what her real name is?
No.
Well, legally now it is Miley.
Okay.
But she was born Destiny. That's her name. Her name's
really?
Destiny.
I didn't know that.
Hope Cyrus, I think, is her full name. And they used to they called her Miley. Yeah. And then she just legally changed her name to that.
I didn't know that. See?
Yeah. I'm just very...
in the brain.
Yep.
Well, Joe Rogan was also pretty supportive of her, too, like saying, like, because she was talking about how problems she was having with people kind of coming down on her and, like, kind of judging her, and, like, she had to kick certain friends out of her circle and stuff, and he's like, well, you're not just, like, anybody. You're Miley Cyrus, like, you're on a different level of life than most people. So, and that's true. Like, I mean, especially at any point in your life, like, sometimes you have to separate yourself from people that can't come with you to the next level, or... if you're doing things, you have to go somewhere. You have to move past this stage of your life at some point. It's like people who just stay like partying until they're like 90.
But they're just going to die like that.
Yeah, you can't just do it.
If she kept that lifestyle, forever. She would definitely be dead.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
No, for sure.
She was like talking about doing shrooms and weed when she was 17.
Yeah, right. Now it's pretty unsustainable, for a long period of time.
Yeah.
It's like being like in physical conditioning. Like he was also talking to Tyson about that, like how you're at your peak position as far as like a person, like health wise. He's like, it's most likely unstable. Like Tyson right now is training to fight, like for combat with Roy Jones, and you can't stay at that level of output like you're training at forever, because you just like burn out. You start to dwindle, your muscles start to deteriorate, stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting though that
too much of anything is not good.
Yeah, you got to have a balance.
Even
and obviously if you are a professional, you have to train to a certain level, to fight or combat with someone else. But then once it's over, people go back to, their walk around weight and stuff like that. You're not just like, eating carrots and working out and killing yourself for 4 hours a day.
Well, even like I talk to Natalie all the time, but she needs to become a guest too.
She should. I don't know if she doesn't.
Well, she's gonna. It's just hard because she's in Buffalo.
No, she's in Buffalo, so we'll bring it out there. Shit's mobile. Yeah. I'll bring the stage and everything.
But like she was talking about like all these like fad diets and stuff, and even like things like counting your macros and all this stuff. She's like, well, it's not sustainable.
No.
Because the minute that you're not going to do it forever, because you'll hate yourself.
Yeah.
And the minute that you stop it, you gain all your weight back. So you need to be like sustainable. Like if you want to have like junk food days, you can have those, but you just need to be like.
Yeah. Well, even The Rock always posts like cheat days and stuff.
Yeah,
you have to like hone it in after that, like minimize it, and then go through.
But I feel like if you don't do those things though, like you're gonna have like if you have it in your head that you can't have certain things, right? Then you're gonna like want them more, and then you're gonna just like binge more often.
That's
and
why,
like very unhealthily.
It's portion control. You got to be able to portion control yourself. And
I don't want to talk too much about nutrition because I'm not a nutritionist, but. We'll get Natalie on soon, and we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, no, definitely. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple people that we're trying to get on. I got to ask a couple.
It's just hard to coordinate schedules. Like, we barely have time to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, half the time we're doing it, it's 9, 10 o'clock at night, You know, it's like we have intentions. Like we always are like, we're going to do it Thursday. And then it's Monday. And we still like, now we're just doing it. Like we have intentions of doing it like all the time. But then it's like, you know, things get pushed back. And like last night, we were going to do it last night. But then it was like by the time we got home.
Yeah, not sure. I went to bed early.
Yeah.
And someone smoked a pole outside the house.
Oh my God. That was wild too. So let me tell you this story. So don't know what happened. I laying in bed. I'm like almost asleep. Now, mind you, it's like 9:30. We were just very tired.
Yeah.
I think there's like a buildup of this happening to me. Like
probably.
Just general feeling of like unwell.
Yeah.
But anyway, I hear this loud noise like a car accident. So I'm like, I jump up. And of course, like he doesn't care, but I'm nosy. And I'm like, I got to make sure everyone's okay. Now, the other night, there was a car accident at the 4-way stop sign. So that's where I thought it was. So I get up and I look over there and there's nobody there. So now I'm like, where the hell's the car? So I look over here and there's another like 4-way, like, you know, our street and then this cross street or whatever. But there's no stop sign there. But there's a car there.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like the pole's like here and the car's kind of like this. But I don't know if there was like another car involved.
Right.
And then he was talking and like to somebody and it sounded like he was talking about another vehicle being involved but driving off, but I don't know if that was the case.
Right, yeah, I don't know.
So now I'm wondering if he was like under the influence of something like drugs or alcohol or pills or something because he definitely hit the pole.
Yeah.
So now the cops show up, but now he leaves. So before the cops show up, I see him talking to this car and he's like, could you just give me a ride? I just live around the corner. So he gets in this car. They drive away. Now the cops show up and the fire department shows up and they're like looking in the car. It's locked.
Yeah,
they're
no
like,
one's in
where
it.
the hell's this guy? Yeah. And then I think they were like ran his plates because then 2 cops drove off and I think they went to his house. So now everyone comes back. So now the 2 cops come back. Another truck pulls up. This other guy and then the guy that got in the car accident get out and they're like looking around the car. They're talking. This other girl pulls up. She's like freaking out. There's still no like second party involved here. I don't know. I think he just hit the pole.
Yeah.
The National Grid shows up. They're
so
looking
crazy.
at the pole. Okay, so everything settles down. Everyone leaves the scene. They tow the car. Then I go back to bed. And I get woken up by like this beeping noise. And now I'm like, oh, it must be the city of Utica because they pick up like the green waste. Like sometimes it's like it's usually Mondays, but sometimes they come like Monday night into Tuesday. But sometimes they come Sunday night into Monday. So it's like it's random.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought it was. I heard the beeping noise. But then I just didn't hear anymore. And I didn't hear like, because they use like dump trucks and like heavy machinery to pick those things up and stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear any of that. Then all of a sudden I start hearing like sawing and drilling and hammering. And I'm like, what the frig is going on?
Yeah,
It's like
going
2
to
in
the
the
hole.
freaking morning. I get up. There's 4 bucket trucks outside, 2 like regular pickup trucks. There's like a bunch of people. They're replacing
one of
the
them, come to
pole.
find out, was my buddy Alex. You asked this morning, and it was.
Well, I was wondering
I
if he
don't know.
was
He's like,
there
"I was
because
sleeping,
he
bro."
does work for National Grid.
Yeah.
But they were fixing the
was sleeping,
pole.
so.
I mean, at some point during the night, our power was shut off. I don't know for how long. I mean, we were sleeping, so it didn't matter. But we had the windows open, so it was like loud. Thank God our bedroom's in the back because if it wasn't,
Yeah, no, it would've been
oh my
annoying.
God, it'd be like a spotlight. I feel bad for the people like
Yeah,
whose
that's not
lawn
good.
the pole was
Yeah.
on because their whole house must have been like lit
Yeah, no,
up.
it sucks. Poor bastards.
But yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, great. Now I go to work and I have this thing happen to me, and
Yeah.
I'm still feeling like this. I'm trying not to move my head as much.
Yeah. On the upside, tomorrow's Tuesday already. It feels like Monday. My week's going to be all whacked out because of today. Because we worked for a couple hours till like 2 o'clock. I just sweat,
yeah.
bro.
Oh,
I'm
well, you
still
did work out,
Yeah,
so
I'm still hot. My shit's
Yeah.
rolling. But yeah, no, that's the thing. We were supposed to get out early today, and then we had a customer come in like right at 2, so then we were there till like 2:30 anyway. We sold the car, but I was like, all right, bro, we were here for like 5 hours.
right.
Like, why? So,
That's how it happens. People show up like 5 minutes before you're
that's how it
supposed to
goes.
close.
But at least we sold it, so I guess that's good.
Mm-hmm.
But
Was that all you had for this week?
that's all I had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about anything else? Anything on the agenda? Check out the Neuralink video. I'm telling you, though, that shit is like...
It was pretty interesting. I did watch most of it.
It's
with
pretty
you.
informative, like I said. I mean, I don't know. He sent up 3 rockets that day that produce, like, the internet for places that don't have it.
Uh-huh.
And then he also did the Neuralink hour of, like, seminar in the morning. I don't know how the guy does it. Like, it's really impressive, like,
Yeah.
the shit he does in a day. Meanwhile, Sunday, what I do, I golfed or something. Like, that was it. He sent up 3 rockets to space produced internet for people
you
who
could
didn't
do
have
that
it.
when you have billions
And then he
of
also was
dollars.
trying to take care of people who have dementia. It's like, it's crazy. The only thing I think where it could get a little sketchy is like the ethical part later, like once it starts getting successful and the whole power control thing of it.
Yeah, because I think it's going to then start to be used for other things, like trying to be like super memory or not like for, it's not for just people who are like.
Yeah, well, they did talk about privacy and stuff too, which I thought was pretty, a good point to hit on, especially in today's world. And it's going to be like encrypted and stuff, but but they can still see it, upper engineers and like all that decrypt.
You know what the funny thing about privacy is?
It's fake.
No, people like are so concerned about it until it becomes a problem. Right. Like Apple phones. Yeah. They're very secure. Yeah. And everyone's like, that's so great. I want all my stuff to be secure. I don't want people to know where I am, this, and that. Until they forget their passwords. Right. And they're fucked. Yeah. Because the phone, like, Apple has a lot of security. Themselves, like, if you, like, okay, so for example, let's say my phone dies, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't work. Now I want to log into my Apple ID. Mm-hmm.
And you forget.
Well, even if I don't forget, okay, it still wants to send a code to my phone. Right. Or anything that my phone is like, anything that my Apple ID is logged into. Right. So if you only have a phone and that's your only Apple product, like I have multiples, so it's not a problem for me. But it wants to send you a verification code because security. So if somebody was hacking into your Apple ID in Zimbabwe, right, they wouldn't have that code. They wouldn't have access to that code. Only you would. Right. So it's a security thing just to make sure that like nobody's logging into your shit. Right. And everyone's like, well, I want this just in case somebody in Zimbabwe tries to hack into my stuff, but they don't want it when they freaking forget it or when they when their phone, dies. Like, yeah, it's inconvenient, but it's all a part of the thing. And people don't understand that like your iPhone is smart, but it doesn't know who's trying to log into what. Right, exactly. Yeah, so, it's not that level yet. But it never will be. Yeah. And like Apple doesn't want to create back doors. Right. Because once there's a back door, anyone could get into it. Right, exactly. So the funny thing about privacy is it's just like anything else. Like everybody wants it until it's inconvenient for them. Yeah. Everybody wants insurance until it's inconvenient for them.
Well, everybody wants, it's like operator error also. Yeah. That's what I've realized, especially being in the car business. It's just like people are pissed. They bomb us on surveys for shit they can't figure out. It's like, all right, but that's really your fault. So there's that.
I agree. Well, same thing with the thing. Like nobody wants any of their information breached or anything like that. So, if somebody comes to my work and wants things transferred and I tell them, well, we're not doing that here anymore, they freak out. Right. But I'm like, you've had 7 iPhones. Yeah. You don't know how to use iCloud by now? Right. Like, yeah. You know what I mean?
I guess Facebook's getting kind of weird with like their app. I don't know if you saw it or not, but they're supposed to be unveiling this new privacy thing. And basically, which they kind of doing anyway, but they like use your contacts and like all your info to like market to them and like track what you buy and what you purchase, and like they'll have access to all your shit, like as far as like your account numbers and all that. Yeah, and they're just gonna market to you. Like I said, this week we talked about Hinge last week on the podcast about like whatever it is, Tinder and Hinge and which one's better. And we didn't even post it. I didn't look it up. And I saw sponsorship shit like this week from Instagram talking about Hinge. I'm like, bro, I'm in a relationship. I haven't even looked at it in like 4 years.
Well, the funny thing is too is we were talking about those blow dryers. Yeah. That hair blow dryers. So I got a blow dryer brush. And we were talking about it. Yeah. My manager was saying how she got one and she loves it. And then Kaylee ended up buying one. And then I went on Ulta's website. I looked it up. I purchased it. Mm-hmm. All I have seen this week was ads for, and the funny thing is that the brand that Kaylee bought, she only talked about it. Right. I didn't even like look it up, but those are the only ones that are showing up. Like, I mean, I have seen some Ulta ones, but it's like, but I guess here's another thing with the Facebook thing. It's like it's only a problem when it becomes like, now Facebook. Okay, so Facebook's storing your data. So when somebody hacks into Facebook, they're going to get all these people's, stuff.
Not sure. It's worse if you type it in, though, too, because I know, like, even this week I bought podcast stuff. I got lighting and all the shit we got coming in to be more official.
Now that's all you're seeing.
So now, since I typed it in, though, now I got all this shit. Like, I don't know. I probably saw like 6 or 7 of them just like the next day about just since I actually typed it in. Yeah. It just popping up everywhere. Yep. Like, come look at this. Come buy that.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I mean. Your phone just listens to you, you know?
Yeah, no, it does.
But it's wild.
Yeah, technology's kind of nuts.
Yeah, I was going to say something else and I just forgot. Something related.
To technology?
Yeah. Oh, well, like, people, again, with, like, the phones. Like, they'll be like, I'm getting all these text messages. Or, like, they'll get, you know, they wonder why they get all these spam texts or spam emails or spam calls. And I'm like, you buy one thing online.
Yeah.
One thing. You put your phone number in. Who knows who has it?
Yeah, and you don't check the, like, disclosure box or whatever.
But people don't realize, like, you might buy something at JCPenney. Well, JCPenney has 17 sister companies, and now they all have access to your data. Or, like, I mean, just anything. Like, I signed up for the Boilermaker how many years ago? Yeah, I get ads now because you have to, like, when you sign up, it's through, like, Active Runner or something, which is, like, a general website that most people register through, like, you probably know because it's, like, whatever the website that you register for the Boilermaker is.
Yeah.
It is a third-party website that all other races use.
Right.
So now I signed up for the Boilermaker. Again, this was, like, fucking 14 years ago, however long it was that I ran the Boilermaker. And I unsubscribed from the emails, but I had to because I was getting 14 emails a week about, why don't you run this race, run this race? And they weren't even, like, in New York.
Right. Yeah, they just market to whoever has the email.
Yeah.
You subscribed, basically, so now they just send it to you.
Yep. And I try to click, like, don't send me newsletters about things, but then they still, like, they still do because then they sell it to their sister companies.
Right.
And people don't understand that. They're like, I'm like, did you put your phone number in any website ever on the internet ever?
Right.
No. Yeah, okay. You did. Because every time you buy something online, they ask for your phone number.
Yeah. Now people are shot. Like, legit shot.
Mm-hmm. They just think that, like, we do it on purpose.
Yeah. I don't know, it's weird. Like I said, just seeing people day to day in, like, the customer service industry is, like, really impressive. What you can see out there. A little review also for back to school. I guess we were wrong last week. Yeah. I had a teacher friend of mine, reach out to me and say that I was an idiot and I was wrong and didn't do any research on it. As far as she was going back, and I guess a couple other teachers are going to go back also, and they're, like, full-time, full-fledged, whatever.
Yeah,
from
so some school districts are going back, like, full-time, regular, like, business as usual, obviously with, like, masks and stuff. Some school districts are not going back at all.
Right, but the teachers are going to be there doing it via Zoom. Like,
yes, and I don't know if that's true for every school district, but I know that most school districts, like, just because the kids aren't going back doesn't mean that they don't expect the teachers to be in the classroom.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So
but
I stand corrected.
Again, I don't know if Utica's like that or not, if Utica's actually going back or... But I don't know. I guess Utica's fully virtual now. That's what I heard. They were doing different things, like, but I guess it's fully virtual for, like, the first 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then.
Well, it's funny because we were talking about problems with that too. How, like, they had issues with, like, because they issued iPads to the students to use for school.
Not iPads, Chromebooks.
Sorry, Chromebooks, and that they were, like, selling them to pawn shops and stuff, or parents were, or somebody was. And, you know, they were like, they had to, like, tell, like, the local pawn shops and stuff to, like, not accept it if, like, kids come in here trying to pawn them off. So it's like, it's
all crazy. I mean, I'm sure it'll work well for some people, and it's not going to work well for others. Every situation. Plus, I mean, what's going to happen, like, if the kids do go back to school?
Right.
One person gets it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's just going to, like,
I mean, look at Oneonta. They closed down their campus. Yeah, they said over 300 people had it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the problem though with it is, like, I don't know if it's ever going to end.
It's not.
Like, there's no hope. That's
there's not going to be a magical.
There's not like, oh, great news, we're doing all this shit to figure it out. There's
First of all, even if they come up with a vaccine,
like
it's not going to just cure COVID. It's not going to go away.
Like someone's got to be. What's Elon Musk doing about this shit? Like, get him out there. You know, like,
where's the Neuralink to cure COVID?
Yeah, I don't know. I got to get more active in my life. I think I'm just wasting my time sometimes.
Well, I think that's about all we have for tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. Well, we said that's 9 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Then we blabbed about bullshit. So.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. No underrated, overrated this week. I fell off the grid, so I know you guys deserve better. I'll do better next week for you.
Yeah, we'll get it going. We'll figure it. We'll get some good topics.
Yeah, we've been just kind of slammed, so we'll get back in it though.
Yeah.
Full-fledged.
For sure.
And we'll actually have scenery next week behind us, so that'll be good.
Ooh,
backdrop.
Fancy.
Whoa.
Travis is doing too much.
I just don't want you. I know the lighting really projects the face a little bit, the blue.
I don't need anyone to see any of my face.
It's all like shadowy over here. That's why I was like, I got to try
any more of my face. I'm already showing.
Bam! Here we are.
All right.
That was episode 29. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
All right. Peace.